Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Going good. How's things?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
No worries. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm glad to do it and be able to talk about such a great album from Aversions Crown, Hell Will Come For Us All, coming out on the 12th of June through Nuclear Blast. I did only get to be able to check out this album today, but I did give it a couple spins today, and I just love where you guys are at now in 2020. I mean, this is just a great blend of brutality I know from the band, and then being able to add more atmospheric and technical moments that's going on throughout. I love where you guys are at now in 2020.
Oh man, thanks so much. That's cool to hear.
Oh, not a problem. So, with that in mind, how did the songwriting process begin for this album?
Yeah, we kind of started writing this one while we were on tour for the previous album, which was Xenocide, which came out a couple of years ago. And yeah, we toured that album pretty heavily, I guess, and we were kind of just figuring out what songs and what parts of songs were being best received by the crowds and all that sort of stuff, and kind of tried to take that on board when we were writing songs for this record. But yeah, we've been sort of working on tracks for a couple of years towards it, and this is kind of where we ended up, I guess.
Oh, and I love that too. I mean, just being able to adapt from still being able to promote the last album and already thinking ahead to the next album. I mean, when you got that creativity and imagination that's going, I mean, it's always good to act on it and try to write the best songs possible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we've kind of never really stopped. Our guitarist Chris is the main songwriter of the band, and he's just kind of, whenever he's inspired, he just keeps going. And yeah, we're always kind of working on something, behind the scenes. So yeah, we've never really stopped.
Oh yeah, and just like seeing the back catalog that you guys have and just seeing where you guys are at now, and it really does feel like that the more that you are working together, the more the band is just connecting together and just writing stronger and stronger material. And that's exactly what I hear here with Hell Comes For Us All, because right from the beginning, and just like that great moody moment that's going on, then all of a sudden it kicks right in. It's such a great way to be able to show off the way that the album is going on, and that just continues all the way throughout the album. It's so cool.
Man, thank you. That's awesome.
Oh, totally. So, with being able to have this formula going of being able to continue writing, and then, before everything that's going on in the world right now, being able to go out and tour, and then back into the recording process. I mean, what is that like for you when you are just going in and recording your parts? I mean, what was it like when you were hearing these songs for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, we demo all of our songs before we go into the studio. So yeah, like I said, Chris writes pretty much all the music. So he would kind of demo a lot of the songs, and we would all just kind of then pick apart bits that we wanted to work on and all that sort of stuff. And he always has sort of more material than what we need, so we kind of just condense it to what we think's the strongest stuff that we've got at the time. And and then when it comes into the studio and we actually get to start putting the songs together the way that we can kind of envision them with a bigger picture, and it's such a cool feeling just watching them come to life and all the bits sort of slowly coming together. And it was a really fun process doing this album. We had a lot of fun tracking the guitars for it especially, and we're stoked with the way it's all turned out.
Oh, and that's one thing that I've really noticed on this album is just the definition of the guitars. I mean, I love the fact that I can hear every note that's going on, and whether it's going for more of the atmospheric feel behind it, or it's like those really brutal breakdowns. Like I can hear every note that's going on, and it just has a great definition behind it.
That's great. Yeah, we really wanted to kind of have a really tight guitar tone on this one, and I'm glad that it kind of panned out that way.
Oh, totally. So with that in mind, I mean, obviously, with going in and tracking and everything, did you switch anything up when it came into going into the studio this time, as far as like your setup or anything?
Well, we recorded with different people this time, which is the biggest difference, I guess. So we did the last couple albums mixed by Mark Lewis, and this time we got Will Putney to mix it. So we tracked it in Australia still with a guy called Matt Shorter. We tracked drums in one studio and guitars in a different one, and we kind of were Skyping Will throughout the process to kind of figure out how he wanted things tracked and using what mics, etc., to make it best for his mixing process on his end. So yeah, it was just a different process overall with all the gear we were using and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was cool just having a different input and seeing how other people, you know, kind of go about it. And and it kind of pushed us to really give our best performances too, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, you know, when you got such great people behind the board, making sure that everything's going to sound good with the production, the mixing, and the mastering, I mean, again, it's just, I really love the way that everything did turn out here. And, you know, again, I think just the music really speaks for itself. And the fact that you got that you do have Tyler being able to show himself off here. I mean, it's great to be able to hear him in full LP form.
Oh, totally. Yeah. We, once we kind of knew he was going to be the guy, you know, we were doing sort of pre-production versions of all the songs, and yeah, we could already hear all the potential in all the stuff he was coming up with. But it wasn't until we kind of got the first raw mixes back from the studio and heard his voice through, you know, the proper mix and all that, and we were just like, wow, this is, you know, exactly what we were hoping it would sound like. And yeah, it was such a good experience for him too, to be able to, you know, track in Will's studio. And I think he definitely leveled up going in there. And yeah, we're excited to to see, you know, how he keeps growing with the band too.
Oh yeah, and I really do feel that, you know, once everything gets back to normal and when everything's able to get back into touring mode, I just imagine these songs are going to be so killer to be able to hear live and also to play live.
Yeah, big time. We kind of, like I said, when we were sort of thinking about the writing of this, it was kind of taking on board things that we felt just kind of translated to a live setting. And yeah, so I guess every song was we kind of envisioned it and how it would come to life on the stage and all that sort of stuff. So it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a bummer that we won't be able to do it for a while. But yeah, once it happens, we're definitely excited to finally get to play all these songs on the stage.
Oh yeah, and you know, it always does help, and it really does freshen things up when there is a new album out there, because you're able to change the set list, you're able to put some old songs to rest, bring some new songs in, you know, just being able to change things around. And, you know, especially with the back catalog and seeing what Tyler can do, I'm very excited to see what you guys are going to be playing live once everything gets back to normal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're excited to kind of have, you know, all these new songs we can throw in the set list, and kind of, I think they'll complement each other pretty well with the back catalogue as well. We've got, you know, 3 previous albums to sort of delve into as well that we've obviously toured quite extensively already, and there's, you know, certain songs that always go down well live. But you know, there's even a few kind of deeper cuts from the other albums we wanted to sort of put into the set list. And so hopefully we can kind of get back on track and start because I feel like Aversions Crown has always been a live band. You know, there's a lot of bands that perform really well in the studio, but I think we really come to life once we're on stage.
Yeah, I totally see that, and I think that's all the more reason why I do love the fact that the production is just it comes so far along on this album, because it does show what the band is capable of in the studio, and it just makes you so excited to see what it's going to sound like on stage, because you are known for being able to put on those amazing shows, and being able to hear that full production in the studio with the high quality that you got this time around is just incredible.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, it's sort of, you know, when you have those ideas in your head about how you want certain things to sound, and then all of a sudden it kind of just actually, you know, sounds the way you heard it in your head. And I think, we've all finally just, you know, with the songwriting and the production and everything, it's all kind of just fallen into place, and the vision that we all sort of had for the band as a group has finally sort of come to life.
So, with all that in mind, I mean, obviously with the album coming out the 12th of June through Nuclear Blast, you know, there's obviously a lot of time to be able to promote the album. And last month, it was great to be able to see that The Soil actually got a full-on music video. What was that like, being able to choose that as the single and the video?
Yeah, well, we've got a couple more actual music videos coming out too, so there'll be I'm not sure when this interview will come out, but there's a music video getting released at the end of this week as well, which we're pretty excited about. But yeah, we really wanted to be able to showcase, obviously, Tyler as the new face of the band. So yeah, that meant we wanted to get him in photos and music videos and all that kind of stuff. And we also had some cool ideas for the clips, and yeah, we wanted to try and execute all that stuff. And I guess we were pretty fortunate we were able to make all this content before we weren't able to all be in the same place at the same time. So yeah, it kind of worked out luckily that we've got some new clips ready to go for promoting this album, and yeah, we can't wait to kind of get them all out there and see the reaction.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to see what's going to be released as the singles and how the videos are lining up, because I really love what happened with The Soil. I really love the dynamics that's really going on with the video, and it just so perfectly matches with the song. And I just imagine that the rest of the singles are going to be just like that when it comes to the videos.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to kind of have the content of the videos really sync up with the lyrics and the themes of the songs. So yeah, it's a bit of a different direction for our band, but it's something we wanted to do for a while, is kind of just open the door, I guess, to different lyrical themes and imagery and stuff like that. And yeah, and hopefully it's received well, but yeah, we think it's definitely our strongest sort of material, and yeah, we look forward to finally getting it out there.
And, along with that, too, I mean, obviously, the visuals for The Soil I do love. And, again, I imagine that the rest of the videos are just going to be incredible, especially with what you're talking about, like being able to change things up and match more with the lyrics. I absolutely love the album cover. I think that's just one of my favorite album covers of 2020, and it totally fits the mood of the album, and it just represented so well. Like, how did that come together?
Yeah, it was a kind of a concept we had when we were even just sort of starting the album writing process for a while, but we didn't really know how it was going to come together. And I guess the last couple of albums we've had more of a digital kind of art feel, which has been really cool, just really detailed, vibrant colours, and which is, yeah, they really suited the feel of those albums. But I think this time we just kind of talked about like a more of a organic painting artwork kind of style, and Ella had been doing some really cool stuff for some other bands as well, but we thought we could kind of offer him a bit of a unique concept, which would stand out from the other kind of artworks he'd been doing, and really kind of, sat well with us. And yeah, once we started chatting to him, and we were all on the same page, and that was what he kind of put together, and we were so stoked with it.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I really love that direction too. And like even though the production is just like so crisp, so clear, I do love the fact that the album cover does have more of that organic feel behind it, and it almost raw in a sense too. Like there's enough differences between the two, but they mesh together so well and just give you so many different feelings that you can have for the album.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's more of a kind of a classic death metal album cover as well. So I think it I don't know, it just kind of, just really, as you said, it just really suits the whole atmosphere of the record.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I look at it, I mean, it gives me like those great feelings of like Death or Cannibal Corpse or Morbid Angel, just like giving off that great death metal feel behind it. And of course, you guys are able to back that up so well with your own mixes and flavoring behind it in that 2020 sense. And it just makes for a great death metal album from the visual aspect and of course audio.
Awesome, man. Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh, of course. So again, with everything that's going on in the world right now, it's put a lot of plans on hold for quite a while. And, obviously with now just being able to promote the album, and hopefully with more people being able to actually check out the album now because everyone's stuck at home. Like, what are you doing now to be able to pass the time while this is going on?
Yeah, well, we were actually supposed to be on tour for a lot of this period. We went over to America and, to do a pretty extensive North America and Canadian tour, but played the first show in Philadelphia, and all this kind of kicked off, and we had to basically just pack up and try and get home straight away. So that kind of all the plans we kind of had laid out for the year are now sort of on hold. But that's how it is, and everyone's in the same boat. And but I've just been kind of at home without any kind of responsibilities, I guess, for the first time in my adult life. So I've kind of just taken it for what it is and just enjoyed the forced break from touring and work and all the usual stuff I've got going on. And I'm usually someone that I need to stay busy. Like I can't just sit around at home. Like I have to be doing stuff all the time. And it kind of just made me, just take a step back and appreciate the fact that I've usually got so much cool stuff I can be working on. And and just really appreciate the fact that I've gotten to do so much cool touring with the band. And it's been a bit of a reflection, but also still trying to remain productive and keep working on music and trying to keep fit and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, and I love that approach and that kind of thinking when it comes to this, because when it comes to times like these, it is so important to be able to appreciate the positive things that you do have in life. And something like this can so easily take things away, and we can take things for granted. And once things do get back to normal and we're able to get back to at least some kind of normalcy, and getting back out there, being able to play shows again, go touring again, seeing fans out there again, and it's going to have like a new sense of appreciation out there when you're able to spend so much time at home knowing that all this is taken away, but you're still being able to better yourself too, like with working out, with listening to music, with writing music, so many things that you can do at home and still being productive rather than just falling on the negative that could come from this.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's going to shake things up for the music industry for sure, but I think that's it could end up being a positive thing. And like you said, people will really appreciate the fact that, oh wow, there's a show on this week, there's a band I want to see, they're playing, I should go and see them. And because I don't know, things can happen and you might not get to see them again, and you kind of realize that you got to appreciate the moments that are in front of you, and because they can get taken away. So maybe it could end up being a positive thing overall.
Yeah, and that's the way I'm trying to look at the release of this new album as well, too, because I know a lot of people have been pushing back the releases of their albums, sometimes indefinitely, until there's more of a chance to be able to get some of those physical sales. But I really love the fact that you guys are continuing on and being able to release this album coming up, because there are a lot of dark times that are going on right now, and sometimes we just need some music that we're able to enjoy, just like listen to it, really be able to appreciate it, and have those emotions that's going on in the world right now. And that's totally what this album feels like. I mean, there's so much aggression and anger that's going on throughout here, and a lot of people are feeling that right now, and this feels like a good soundtrack to what's going on. That can be taken good or bad, but musically, I think it's such a great thing that you guys are still releasing this and being able to give the fans something to continue going forward and having this album come out during these times.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that, because obviously this album was written before all the COVID-19 happened, but it kind of feels like a lot of the the overall themes and stuff of what we were trying to get out, it kind of fits really well with what's going on in the world right now. So yeah, it kind of is in some ways a bit of a soundtrack to what's happening in the world right now, and it does seem like a pretty appropriate time to release the album. So I mean, the only thing that would stop us from doing it is if, for whatever reason, they can't make physical copies of albums. I know a lot of bands have had to push back things purely because they can't actually get the albums pressed in time to get them to people when they're supposed to be released. But as far as I know, everything's on track for us, and we look forward to getting it in people's hands and in people's ears, more importantly.
Oh, very much so. And yeah, I mean, the physical versions are going to be so important to be able to get those out, and I'm just thinking about that for the artwork sense of it. I mean, being able to see that album cover in a full vinyl artwork, I mean, that's just going to look incredible in physical form. Oh,
I know, I can't wait to get my hands on one of those and and see it properly. It's going to be great.
Oh, totally. And yeah, again, it's great to see the mentality that you got going on right now, and just hearing how excited you are about this music. And it's just I can hear the excitement of wanting to be able to go out and tour and being able to write new music and everything. And I totally think that's what's something that's going to be coming out of this is I think there's going to be so much great music that's coming out of this dark time right now. That's going to be, possibly the end of the year, maybe 2021, whatever the case is. But I think so much great music is going to be recorded during this time, and I think it's going to be a great new sense of what's going to be going on in the future. And I can't wait to see where you guys go from here, considering everything that's going on.
Yeah, me too. I think so many people are going to get the creative juices flowing, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what bands that I listen to are going to bring out coming in the future from all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for what we've got coming up. And like I said, yeah, we're always working on things creatively, and yeah, the juices are flowing at the moment, and yeah, I'm already excited about the next release, even though this one hasn't even come out yet. But we're keeping busy, and we're looking forward to just being able to, especially get back on tour. That's where we kind of we belong, in stinky vans around the world, getting on stage every night, and yeah, we need to get back to that and doing what we love doing and what we do best.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to that day as well, too. I mean, for you guys and so many other great musicians being able to go back out there and doing what they love with touring and being able to go around the world, playing with so many great musicians, being able to tour with so many great bands, and seeing the fans out there that truly appreciate that music. And, until then, I'm just so glad to see that Hell Will Come For Us All is still getting released the 12th of June through Nuclear Blast. And, just everything that this album has represented so far, even though it's not intentional. I mean, again, it's just like, it does sound like a soundtrack for what's going on in the world right now. The artwork is such a great work. It's easily one of my favorite album artworks of 2020, and just the music behind it is so great. And I just love seeing where the band is right now, and I really appreciate you taking the time to be able to talk to me about all this that's going on.
Man, of course, I'm excited to finally be able to talk about it. So yeah, thanks so much for hitting me up, and yeah, I can't wait to finally have it released.
Oh, absolutely. So, with that in mind, I mean, again, thank you very much for taking this time to be able to talk to me. It was awesome to be able to promote Aversions Crown, and again, such an amazing album with Hell Will Come For Us All. Before we're done, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
Yeah, I guess keep an eye out for the upcoming music video at the end of this week. That's one we're pretty excited about releasing, and there will be another one just before the album release as well. But yeah, we're keen to get some more kind of songs out, and yeah, keep an eye out. We'll be back on tour as soon as possible.
Yeah.